Welcome back to Paulie TV. Paulie and I are here at Spencer Park for this Brisbane Roar pre-season match against Brisbane City. I'm joined by former Socceroo Alan Hunter, as always through this pre-season. Alan, welcome again back tonight.
Thanks, mate. It's been a pleasure.
We've been talking to a few of the lads and trying to pick up a bit of a scoop before the game, and one of the things that's come to light is maybe Bratz has lost the beard.
I did hear that, yeah, due to popular demand, no doubt. Bit of influence there. He was getting called Ned Kelly and all sorts of things, so maybe we'll get an opportunity to talk to Bratz about that. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. But maybe the bet was off. I don't know. But yeah, look, it looks like a good evening tonight for all the players, and certainly it'll be the third game in their preparation, and maybe they'll be even a bit better than they were last week. A
little bit of team news. Some of the bigger players, the more respected players, are back again tonight.
Yeah, I think we'll see Bessart Barisha starting. He's been struggling with a little bit of an injury, but I believe he will start, and Thomas Broish as well. So they've come back from some heavy games in the previous All-Stars camp, and yeah, it'll be great for the fans here tonight to come out and see their star-studded lineup.
Brisbane City going very well in the NPL, playing some good brand of football. Obviously, they'll be challenged tonight. How do you see it panning out here, let's say, in the first half?
Yeah, well, I think that is a good point. They have done well. Some good opportunities for Antonio Murray, who's been trialling with the Raw to play for City tonight, I believe. So if I'm right there, it'll certainly be a good opportunity for him to be tested against the best defenders in the competition, and see how he challenges in that situation. Playing against good defenders week in, week out isn't something that he's used to. So tonight will be a good test for Antonio if he starts for the home side.
Lots of variables. The pitch is in good condition. Underwater last night. It might chop up, maybe soft underfoot. Do you see that playing any part in the game tonight?
You're being nicer than me, Blanchy. I think the pitch is not as good as we'd like it to be. That's as nice as I'll say. Certainly was a difficult, nervous time for them last night. We had a freakish downpour, and the water looked like it wasn't going to disappear. But this morning it improved a lot, and they've worked admirably to get it in the condition it is. Look, the Raw are going to play their typical triangle football, try and keep possession, and I'm sure Mike will have them revved up and asking for a little bit better than last week. And it was an improved performance, but I'm sure he'll be looking for an even better one tonight.
You were spot on last week, the first time we've had co-host get it right. So I'm going to ask you again, half-time score, what's your prediction?
Oh, look, you put me on the spot, Blanchy, but I'll say 2-0 to the Raw.
Okay, there we have it, 2-0 to the Raw at half-time. I'm just going to go with that because I can't see any reason to argue. We'll be back at half-time. And the officials for tonight's match are referee Alan Milner and his assistant referees Matt Skinner and Ethan Quinlan. Brown, back for his skipper Smith. Raw look it up the park, into the channel. Looking for Broish, cleared by Biggins. Brown with the throw. Broish under pressure, gets it away well. Brown slides it across the face of the box. Miller's taking a touch! Steen, no chance! 1-0 to the Raw in the 5th minute. Let's have a look. Ball in, one touch. Hits it, it has taken a deflection. Over the top of Steen, 1-0 Raw. Steen goes long. Hingett loses out, still there though. Smith, ooh, caught out. Passe with the shot, taking a deflection and gone out for a corner. Bratton. Petrados' touch lets him down, but he wins it back. Smith for Bratton. Cut out, Passe. Oh, they've got caught again in possession. Broish a small touch. Petratos with the shot. Well held by Steen in goal for City. Great lead up play. Broish. Ooh, heavy challenge. Biggins right on the edge of the box. Broish dinks to the far post. Barisha inside his man. Couldn't get a touch. Smith. Barisha inside. Miller forward. Broish for Barisha. Takes a touch. Puts it in the bottom corner to make it 2-0 in the 19th minute. Great lead up play from the Roar. Miller forward. Ball just put through into the channel. Barisha takes the touch to the inside. Puts it in the bottom corner. No chance for the keeper. And the crowd are happy. Passe with the corner. Biggins gets up. Can't direct his header on target. Kratos out. Borello in. Broish into the centre. Bratton. Barisha back for Bratton. Out for Brown. Bratton again. Very busy. Turned by Miller. Brown gets it into the box. A step over. Shot from Petratus. Bouncing around. Brown over it. Cuts back. Knows where the goal is instinctively and makes it 3 in the 30th minute. Cut out. Again, Roar's pressure pays. Petratos. Miller. Looking for support, finds it. Broish. Bratton, who will cut out by Little Petit. Good ball. Onside, I'd say, from Murray. Theo off his line. Did he get a touch with the hand or was it off the body? Referee says yellow card. That doesn't really tell us, but I would suggest it's off the hand. Let's have a look. He's well outside the box. Yes, a sneaky little hand. Technology tells us very outside the box. Free kick driven in, straight into the chest of Theo, who will look to get rid of it early. Smith. Petratos. Barisha cut out, well defended in the end. Passe, one too many touches. Bratton early. Broish. Barisha. Looks to go on a run. Was he clipped? No, says the referee. It's half time here at Spencer Park. Good close play here on the near side. Bratton forward. Bush loses out. Good challenge. Ball forward early. Passe in a little bit of space. Murray making the run. Shot comes across. Acton with the touch. Out for a corner. Miller forward. Brown. Still going, Corey Brown. Rolls it inside. Miller lays it off. Back into the middle. Can they get the shot away? Patient. The shot comes in from distance. Easily held by Steen. Good turn. Biggins with the touch. Miller. Broish. Good build-up play. Brown finally gets on the outside, lays it into the middle. Quick feet shot from Miller across the face of Tim Allen's goal. Allen goes long. Murray gets there first, has a go! And Acton has to be quick, get back and put it over the bar. City trying to get in it behind. Ball across. Bird. Gets around his man, lays it back. And the shot straight at action. Miller forward. Bratton. Miller. Broish. Brown. Back in to Broish. Shot on the turns off the post and Biggins puts it out. Only as far as Corey Brown. We'll go back. Smith forward. Miller. Raw carving it up and a good save by Allen at his near post. Long throw. Flicked on. Bratton comes away with it. And that's the final whistle, which sees this Brisbane Roar pre-season match end. Brisbane City 0, Brisbane Roar 3.
Mike, we spoke last week and you mentioned progression. I think that's taken place again, obviously with a few more of the established players coming back in. But first half especially, I thought that the side looked very sharp and controlled it completely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree with you actually. It's progression is the important thing. And what we got tonight was we got a good performance on a difficult pitch. You know, the combinations between the guys in the central areas and the wide areas was very pleasing. We moved the ball very well, and we not just that, we created chances to score goals. So every week we're looking to improve, and we know there's still 10 weeks to go to the start of the season, so we don't want to peak too early. We got 90 minutes into 9 players tonight. We got Bessart back on the track as well, and scored a fantastic goal. We're in a good place at the moment. We've just got to keep it going. We won't get ahead of ourselves. But we talked last week about minimum standards. That was minimum last week. Now we've raised it again. That's the minimum standard again now.
Mike, you seem to be developing really competitive spots for all the positions on the field, and that's possibly part of your plan. Other than finishing a little bit higher on the table, can we ask what else you've got in plan for the season?
Well, look, we want to be super competitive in every game that we play. And I think if we take that attitude into everything that we do, like every minute of every game is important to us. It's not about, well, let's just see what happens the first 15 minutes. Let's go and, attack teams from the first minute. Press high, win the ball. If we win the ball close to their goal, then we're a chance of scoring goals. And with the players that we've got around the edge of the box, I think you've seen tonight a little taste of what might be to come in the future.
Yeah, well, I think in the first half in particular, you starved the opposition of possession for probably a good 30, 35 minutes of that game, which for any opposition is going to make it very difficult. And it didn't sort of come down a bit in the second half, but you've been happy with the way you kept the ball in the first half?
Yeah, look, Brisbane City are very competitive. They've got some decent players there. They cause us some problems at times. But the beauty of pre-season is that we can try a few things. We threw a couple of 16-year-olds in tonight, and I thought Patrick and Brandon really acquitted themselves very well. And you mentioned before, Alan, about competition for places. That's what I want. Because if you've got competition for places, you're an established player, you know someone's pushing for your position, just brings that little bit extra out of you. So that's what we're trying to establish, and it'll take some time, but we're getting there.
Played for the first half, scored a goal. First game, apart from the one against Manchester United, in quite some time. How have you pulled up?
I pulled up good. It's always good, friendly games. To prepare for the season. We really want to hit this year some good football and try to hit back, special after the last year. We want to bounce back, and games like that, and special against Brisbane City, they're a good team, and we got a lot of crowds today, and I really enjoyed today.
So Bessart, as a striker, obviously you scored 14 goals last year. You'd have to have a personal goal as well as a team goal yourself for this season coming up?
I every year really want to make sure I work really hard for my team, and really try always my best in the games to help my team. And of course, if I help with my goals, I'm more than happy to score a lot of goals. This is why I'm a striker. I count with goals, and I always try first to work really hard for my team, like always do. And if I get a goal, I'm very happy.
Well, the team certainly looked like they benefited from you and Thomas being in the side tonight. You kept the ball very well in the first 40 minutes, and certainly I think the other players around you seem to lift as well. Do you feel that when you're part of the side?
I think, especially in Brisbane Roar, that we are like when all the players are back and we are really strong. And So if one of us missing, don't matter if me or Thomas, we stick together. When we are all players together, then we really play the best football in Brisbane.
Glenn, 3-0 at half time. To be fair, we were looking at probably a bit higher score at the end of the game, but to the credit of your side, no goals in the second half, and what I describe as a very good performance.
Yeah, I think it was a good performance. I mean, the Raw did bring a very strong outfit here, and they were well up for it in that first half. The ball movement, the physicality, everything, it shows the difference. There's A-League quality there. At half time we got the opportunity to go in and adjust and sort of work out what we needed to do to combat that. They made a couple of changes, but we did as well. And I think the boys acquitted themselves really well through the whole match. Deflected goal for the first one. Brish's finish was class. Can't remember the third. No, it went well. So, good opportunity for all the guys to get out there.
Glenn, I've got to ask, a lot of coaches would be interested to know, how do you prepare at all differently for playing against a professional outfit like the Raw?
Yeah, we got the opportunity last night because of the massive downpour that came through to not get out on the pitch at all and just sit in and have a session with the whiteboard and go through the plans. But basically, we approached this from the perspective that we've been working on stuff right from when I came on board in October last year. The squad's changed over a great deal from what it was beforehand. We've set up a way that we want to play. We've set up to be very disciplined defensively and to be dangerous in attack from a number of different areas. Obviously tonight was always going to be a bit more about the counter attack. I basically said to the boys, we've just got to get back to what we were doing well. I think with the changeover of personnel we've had in the last few weeks, we had to it was an opportunity to sit down and say, all right, well, these are the things we've worked on. We've got a few new bodies in there at the moment. These are your roles. Get back to your roles and let's do it all as well as we can and basically treat this as a great warm-up for our game on Saturday against Sunshine Coast, which is very important for us as well. There's lots to play for. There's young guys who've got an opportunity and are coming in, performing really well. So no, I'm very hopeful that it won't be. At the end it was a great spectacle, great crowd, excellent for the club, excellent for the players to have this opportunity. But yeah, tomorrow night it's going to be a very, very easy session. A lot of recovery and make sure that we start switching on and turning towards Saturday.
Alan, not quite the score that you predicted, but I'm going to be fair and generous and say you got it right last week. This one is just a little aberration.
Yeah, it was big aberration, but certainly a performance in the first half that was polished, I think. And I have said it before and I'll say it again. I think the introduction of Berisha and Thomas Broich, just the pace of those two, the understanding of both players, not just between themselves but the rest of the team, they seem to lift, don't they, when you have the quality of the Broich and Berisha. And for 45 minutes they just starved Brisbane City of the ball. Second half, without Berisha there, they lost that link a little bit, taking nothing away from the other players that Mike has mentioned, particularly the young guys that came in and played so well, looked sharp. And look, as Mike Mulvey said, I think it is a very early but good sign for the Raw and certainly an opportunity for these people tonight to see what they can support for the rest of the season.
We were talking off air, Brandon Borrello, very lively and quite a prospect, I believe.
Yeah, certainly. Look, Mike did have a chat with us, didn't he, before the game and said you need to have a look at this young guy. He's got potential and Mike says that because he doesn't like people to get carried away with themselves and he wants to create competition within the side and he's done that this early stage of the season and he'll continue to keep doing that knowing Mike Mulvey and keep the pressure on the players that think that they are first team players and know on these sort of performances that they've got to be at their best if they're going to be selected come A-League season.
One of the things I've noticed with the young players is when you've got your Berishas and your Roiches on the field, they're happy to play the ball into them even though they're under pressure. It's an outlet for them. They can play the simple ball with confidence to a player they expect to do something with it. Yeah,
that's a very good point. They don't lose the ball, do they? They feel like if I'm in a bit of a situation here, I can find these two experienced players, know that I'm either going to get it back quickly or I'm at least going to get in position where I can show for it again. And they did that so well. And they're two players that don't just score goals and create goals, but they keep possession well. And let's not forget Liam Miller in the midfield he's someone that's slotted in with his experience and someone that can do a dangerous setup job, as I think Massimo Madoka did in the previous 5-6 years that he's been with this club. So, yeah, look, a good performance and an enjoyable match to watch under tricky conditions.